guys, Alex Eubank here coming at you with another YouTube video. Today's video is going to be how to gain muscle from home doing calisthenics. So I did calisthenics for like the first 6 to 8 months of my fitness journey, and I actually developed a really good, really lean and muscular physique just off of using and mastering my own body weight. So I know a lot of gyms have been closing down because of COVID, so I'm going to teach you guys kind of the ropes of calisthenics, how you can get into it if your gym is closed, and you can still either maintain or gain some muscle. Alright, so the cool thing about calisthenics is that you can recover very fast from it, so you don't really need to take any days off, like no rest days, because it's not going to really hurt your central nervous too much, and it's not going to hurt your joints at all because it's really easy on them because you're mastering and you're only using your own body weight. So when it comes to calisthenics, I like to work 3 different parts. I'll do the push muscles, which is going to include your chest, your shoulders, as well as your triceps, and then the pull muscles, which are going to be more lats, biceps, rear delt, and then it's going to be legs for the third. So I'm going to go over kind of the different progressions and the different exercises that you can do for the push, pull, and leg muscles, because it's way more than just squats, pull-ups, push-ups, and dips. There's way more variations that you can do to kind of shock the muscle and to make it a lot more fun. Alright, so what got me into calisthenics was watching Bar Brothers. If you look them up on YouTube, they're these guys from I forgot what country they're from, but it's a different country. And they're so good at mastering their body weight, and they're built. I was like, wow, they have a lot of muscle, and all they do is body weight movement. So that's what got me into it, and I actually bought one of their programs, and I did that for 12 weeks, and that's kind of what got me into lifting overall. And so really grateful for that. But so we're gonna go over first the pull muscles. So we're gonna do back dominant stuff, biceps, and a little bit of rear delt. So the biggest builder when it comes to a pull movement for calisthenics is going to be pull-ups, variations of pull-ups, anything like that. So first thing, you got your regular grip pull-ups. It's going to work, main parts of your back, your traps, your rhomboids. If the wider grip you go, the wider out you're going to be going, you're going to be hitting more of this upper lat. It's going to pop out what's more better for the front double bicep poses. The wider grip you go, again, you're working that upper lat. Then the closer grip you go, you're going to be working more of the lower lat. That's going to insert into the lower part of your back, maybe a little bit more of the middle part of your back, as well as when you do an underhand grip, it's going to also work a little bit more lower lat and the middle of your back. Alright, so I'm going to explain the way that I like to train. So there's 2 different ways you can go about calisthenics training. You can do a volume approach, where you're not going to failure every step, you're getting a ton of reps and sets in, and you're doing more like a bro split, or you can do an intensity style where you go to failure on your push-ups, then you go to your pull-ups and you do failure on those. I personally like the volume approach. Everyone's different, so you can try each one out, but I like to do the different variations of each lifts. So I would have one day where I'd do a back day or a back and bicep day, the next day maybe a chest and tricep, next day shoulders, and so on, and then legs, you know what I mean? So I'm going to explain how I would go about that. Alright, so first I'm going to be going over how I train the pull muscles when it comes to calisthenics. So the way that I take calisthenics is I do more of a volume approach. So meaning I won't go to failure on each of the sets, but instead I'll do a lot more volume, a lot more sets, a lot more reps through that workout, instead of going to failure on each and every rep. Just so I feel it's a longer duration of a workout, but I just feel that's needed for calisthenics because you're using body weight, so you kind of need to get more sets and reps. Let's say for a pull day, usually I'll pick anywhere from 4 to 5 different variations of a pull exercise. So when this comes to pull-ups, I'll usually start off with wide grip pull-ups. The reason I do that first is because they're going to use less of your bicep, more of your outer lats. It's going to be harder to do wider grip than closer grip. And so basically the wider grip you go, the more you're going to be hitting that upper lat. The closer in you go, the more you're going to be hitting your lower to mid back. So usually I start off with wide grip pull-ups, and then let's say next I'll do close grip pull-ups, pronate like this. Next one maybe I'll do chin-ups. Fourth one maybe I'll do archer pull-ups. Archer pull-ups is when you go to one side, go down, go to the other side, right? And so that would be a circuit, and the way I would do it is I'd first start off with the wide grip pull-ups. I wouldn't go to failure. I'd do about maybe 50% of my failure reps. So if I could do 20 in one set, max, I'll do 10. I'll wait about 45 seconds, then I'll go to those close grip pronated. Then I'll wait about 45 seconds, go to the chin-ups, do 10 reps, and so forth. And then after I finish all 4 of those exercises, I'll rest for 2 minutes, and I'll repeat it 4 to 5 times. So that usually will cover the back portion, because that's usually pull-ups is going to mainly target your back and a little bit of your biceps. You definitely will feel a crazy pump in your biceps and forearms when you do that many pull-ups. If you struggle with doing pull-ups, stuff like that, I highly recommend investing into these resistance bands. There's bands you can tie on your pull-up bar that go under your feet, and they help pull you up. I used to use those to practice doing muscle-ups. So that's also a big thing. Progressions in calisthenics is very crucial. So if you can't do that, you should start off with the resistance bands, and then go to using just your body weight. Then once you get really good with it, then you can start doing advanced movements like muscle ups. I'm really big into muscle ups. I do muscle ups still all the time now because it literally works almost every single muscle in your body. You're using your back, your biceps, you're using your triceps on the push. It's a pull exercise, and it's a push at the end of it. So muscle ups the best calisthenics workout that you can do. But you definitely you need to do some training to get to them. Take some time to be able to get the explosiveness to do that. So yeah, so when it comes to the main back movements, any type of pull-up variation, there's so many. So basically I'll go over all of them real quick. Basically there's wide grip, there's like your neutral regular grip, shoulder width, then there's close grip pronated, there's chin-ups. Again, all 3 different ways you can do it. You can do archer pull-ups, you can do one-arm pull-ups, you can do pull-up static holds as an exercise I would do. I'd hold it for like 30 seconds. Slow negative pull-ups. Basically, the cool thing with calisthenics is you don't just want to do regular push-ups. You want to hit the muscle from different angles. So it's good, like I said, to pick 4 to 5 different variations of exercises for your back, and to kind of switch it up throughout each week you do it. You know, go in a different order each and every time. Just keep changing it up, and you'll keep getting sore. Now when it comes to the biceps, the thing about calisthenics though is it's harder to get isolation movements for certain muscles because usually a lot of the movements are compound type lifts, meaning you're working multiple muscle groups. So for biceps, what I like to do is I'll do these things called headbangers. Headbangers are great. I do them at the end of like my pool days when I do calisthenics, and basically it's just gonna hit your bicep. It's also gonna hit your forearm and your back a little bit as well, but it's gonna help get a little bit more burn in that bicep. I also like to do these like bar curls. So either you can use a bar or I'll use like these 2 pulleys. If you have like TRX or something like that, you can kind of like mimic a barbell curl, but you're using your body weight. And it actually has a really good contraction if you do it the right way. So I highly recommend trying those out as well. Now when it comes to doing your pushing muscles, meaning your chest, your front delt, maybe a little bit your side delt, and your triceps, push-ups and dips are going to be like the foundation of what you're going to be doing. But again, like I said, you can do different variations of these to keep it interesting, keeping it fun, and doing different progressions. So obviously, you know, you got your regular grip push-up, you know, it's going to be usually the easiest. You got your wide grip, you got your close grip, which is going to be harder, working a little bit more your tricep. The wider you go, the more outer of your chest you're going to be focusing on, right? I used to do a lot of wide grip push-ups when I was doing calisthenics. Then you got your incline. Incline push-ups are going to target your lower chest a little bit. They are a lot easier though. Decline push-ups are going to be a lot harder. They're going to target your upper chest. So I highly recommend doing that because a lot of people lack an upper chest. All right, so again, dips are very crucial. I feel like when it comes to calisthenics, because it's like one of like the compound type lift, you're hitting your lower chest very well. You're hitting your delts, your front delt a ton, and you're really getting your triceps done well. A lot of people don't have the parallel bars. If you don't, you can use a kitchen counter, the corner of a kitchen counter. You can still get a really good contraction, especially in your triceps when you're doing it that way. And if you can't do a dip, what you can do is you can focus on negatives, meaning jump up on it, slow the movement down, go back on your feet, jump up, slow the movement down. Calisthenics is all about progressions. If you look up different progressions for each of the exercises that you may not be able to do, there's always an easier way to do it and there's a more advanced way to do it. So you got to kind of work your way up, and the more advanced you get, the more you can challenge yourself. So like once you really get good at push-ups, you can start doing one-hand push-ups. Like that's more the advanced movement. You can start doing like planche push-ups, stuff like that. That's like super advanced and stuff like that. What I like to do for my shoulders, for example, I'll do pike push-ups once I start getting a little bit stronger in my chest, my pushing movements, because they're a little bit harder than regular push-ups, and it's going to target your delt a little bit more. Then maybe I'll go up and do a handstand against the wall, start doing handstand push-ups with the wall supporting me. Then I got really good with it, and I started doing these like handstands with parallettes that I have over here. I'll go on these parallettes. I'll show you right now. I'll do a handstand with it, and I actually usually do a lot of push-ups with them. I haven't done them in a while, so I'm not going to attempt it. But once you get really advanced, you see what I mean? You go from a regular push-up to being able to do push-ups in a handstand. You know what I mean? There's so many different progressions when it comes to calisthenics. That's what's cool about it. But the way I would go about a push day, again, I pick 4 to 5 different exercises that's going to target your push muscle. So let's say I'll start off with wide grip push-ups, then I'll go to incline, then I'll go to decline, then I'll go to close grip, be able to do clapping push-ups, mess around with different tempos, slowing it down and stuff like that. But usually I pick 4 to 5 exercises, and again, I'm not going to failure at each set. If you keep going to failure at every set, you're not going to be able to do all these different exercises to hit the push muscles at different angles. So I would go maybe like, let's say if you can only do like 70 push-ups, I could do like maybe 70 push-ups in a row, all in one go. Instead of doing that, I'll maybe do 25 for each of these sets. So I'll hit the wide, rest about 45 seconds, then I'll go hit the regular, the incline, rest for about 45 seconds for 25 push-ups, so on and so forth. And then after I finish that cycle, I'll wait about 2 minutes and repeat it 4 to 5 times. That's how I train. Now when it comes to legs, obviously for legs for calisthenics, it's going to be a lot harder to pack on mass and size. You got to do a lot of volume for it, which sucks, but there are ways you can do it. Things like walking lunges, wall sits, like practicing sits, practicing sprints, doing like explosive squats and movements like that. It's definitely gonna be a lot harder, but there's still ways you can do it. I'll pop up different lifts you can try out right here so you can get an idea of how you can hit your legs when it comes to just doing your body weight. But yeah, so I recommend definitely hitting these things twice a week. So you can do like a push-pull leg split when it comes to calisthenics. So you're hitting each muscle twice a week, and you really don't need rest days because your joints are not going to be torn up like when you're benching and deadlifting all the time. But yeah, like the main thing I really want to do with this video is just to show you guys that like calisthenics isn't just like regular ass push-ups, pull-ups, and dips. There's so much more you can do. There's so many different variations. I highly recommend checking out people like Bar Brothers because they're like really advanced with it. It actually gets fun. Like you can do, when you get super advanced, you can do these front levers, you can do back levers, you can do like the planches, you can do the human flags and stuff like that, and muscle ups, like weighted, like clapping. Like there's so much stuff you can do with it once you get really good with mastering your body weight. And it's actually like a damn party trick at some point. Like when I can go and do a muscle up at a gym, like people usually look at you because not a lot of people can do a muscle up. Like some people can bench 405, but they can barely do, you know, 3 pull-ups. You know what I mean? So I highly recommend always tracking or training your body weight because I feel like it's very important just being an overall athlete and a healthy person. If you can move 405 on bench, but you can't do many push-ups, you definitely probably aren't a healthy person, right? So highly recommend getting into calisthenics. Even if you do have access to a gym, try to incorporate a little bit of it. You know, it's really good on your joints. It's good to warm up with. Usually before all my push days, I'll do dips and push-ups. Before I go into benching, before my back days, I like to start off with pull-ups. You know, nothing's gonna beat those body weight movements. So because I know a lot of gyms are closing down, I actually have a free 4-week program that I'm actually gonna pop up on this video that you guys can go try out if you can only do calisthenics right now and body weight movements. I'd say it's maybe intermediate base. Again, you can tweak the numbers if you need to, if you can't hit certain reps, but I'll pop it up right here. Pretty sure it's like 4 weeks. I made it a while back, but I'm just gonna give you guys it because I know a lot of you guys need help with that, and I'm not gonna like charge anything for it. Yeah, so big news on the Swole House, I guess. I'll say something about that is move-in day is probably gonna be February 1st. We actually submitted an application for a really nice house we're hoping to get. If we don't get it, we have a second option for a house that we're looking at. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the location's gonna be Plano, Texas. And yeah, the move-in day should be February 1st. So I'm actually gonna drive my car down there, and I live in Maryland, so it's gonna be like a 20-hour drive. But this whole house is lit. If you haven't seen already, Bradley Martin actually shouted us out on TikTok. Flores was with him, so that's insane. All the athletes in the house are going to be sponsored by Rise, and a lot of us actually sponsored by Raw Gear as well. But Rise is going to be the one sponsoring the house. We're going to be working with Rise very, very closely. And if you actually want to, you know, help me out or use my code is Alex. If you need any supplements from them, I highly stand by all their supplements. I think they're the best in the industry, truly. But yeah, so please like and comment, subscribe if you haven't already, turn that bell notification on because I'm posting 3 times a week now. 3 times a week. How crazy is that, right? Especially once we move up to the Swole House, it's gonna be like really good content. So make sure you sub. But thank you guys for all love and support. You guys are absolutely amazing. This year is gonna be insane. But yeah, thank you guys for love and support. You guys are awesome. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.